somebody want, is this on? Everybody happy? Okay. Thank you so much for appearing today. Today, justice was done. I take very seriously the death penalty, and I've been in the death chamber for all 8 Oklahomans that we've executed since I've taken the oath of office. Within the first few months of my taking my oath, I reviewed the extracts on all 37 Oklahomans on death row, and one stood out that required additional thought, additional analysis, and that was Richard Glossip. The mission of this office is to seek justice, not to defend the prosecution. And in this instance, I'm gratified that 6 of the 8 Supreme Court justices who reviewed this case agreed that justice was not served in Oklahoma. And I am very pleased with that verdict. I think it shows the significance and the weight of the death penalty, and that it shows that Oklahoma can make the right decision. I have conferred with several members of the Van Treese family and given them my heartfelt sadness for where they are, where they find themselves. I do not believe that Richard Glossip is innocent. I believe him to be guilty, but I believe him to not have been given a fair trial. I have also conferred with District Attorney Vicki Bahena. She and I will collaborate together with our staffs, and we will review the evidence with fresh eyes and interview those witnesses that will be available to us to make a determination whether we should proceed seeking again the death penalty, whether we should proceed seeking life without the opportunity for parole, or if we should proceed with a lesser charged crime. And when that decision is made, I'm certain that my communications team will let you know as in the second person. With that, I'd be happy to take questions.
What kind of timetable are we talking about?
Nolan, the facts are well developed at this point, but we need to look back on the evidence and see what evidence we actually have that we can go forward on, and what witness recollection there is to make a determination on the efficacy of a jury trial.
In general, who makes that decision? You or Vicki, or do you make it in?
I will be deferential to the district attorney, but I've expressed to her my willingness to be, since I have begun this process, I'm happy to lead this process. But we will collaborate and make a decision jointly.
We talking this year?
Yes.
Will he continue to be held at OSP, or do you think he's going to be released completely?
It is my request that a hold be placed until we determine the course. I do believe it appropriate for him to be removed from H block, but it would be my request of the Department of Corrections that they continue to hold Mr. Glossip until a decision is made.
If you do decide on a lesser charge, given that he's almost served 30 years, it's possible then that he could be released, right?
I think all things are possible. I want to be respectful of the Department of Corrections and its protocol on how it credits time for good behavior. But I believe that a lesser crime would be a 35-year plus sentence. He's only been in prison 28 years.
How hard is it to try a case that's 25 years old?
I beg your pardon?
How hard will it be to try a case that's 25 years old?
It would be difficult.
You said that you don't think he's innocent, so will he be going to another trial?
I believe that Mr. Glossip, by his own testimony, is guilty of accessory after the fact. So we know that he, by his own words, is guilty of a 35-year crime.
There's been talks of maybe, I don't want to say destroying, possible prosecutorial misconduct. Could there be charges stemming from that we're looking at, or is this just Glossip?
I have no interest in pursuing prosecutorial misconduct on a 25-year-old case. The prosecutors who commit misconduct today, I'd be happy to prosecute them.
So to clarify, you're talking with the DA's office, figuring out what's next, looking at evidence and things. Would that then possibly go to a trial, or is that?
Oh, certainly. No, I think everything is on the table. A jury trial all the way down.
Do you anticipate seeing a death penalty again?
As I mentioned, if the evidence and the facts and the law support that, that would be an option.
But Ms. Mahanna's already told the Department of Parole Board this would be a death penalty case.
I believe that under today's standard, very few prosecutors would seek a death penalty.
Do you think the high publicity
I know that that's a reaction that we always have, but you'd be surprised how few people in Oklahoma actually listen to broadcast media and read the newspaper.
I want to go back to what you just said, that in today's day and age, it would be really hard to make this a death penalty case. Can you elaborate on that? and why that
I think that the standards applied across the state of Oklahoma, that the death case would be one where there are more factors that would show the culpability. In this case, the state relied on the testimony of one individual, and that one individual's testimony was determined to be false and not corrected by the state.
You said you spoke with the Vantrease family?
I have.
What was their reaction to this?
You know, I have visited with the Vantrease family on, there are 7 members of the family that I regularly communicate with. I visited at length today with Derek, who is a gentleman and respectful and understanding of the process. That doesn't diminish the pain and anguish that the family is suffering, for which I am particularly acute and aware, but they understand that the wheels of justice will grind forward.
The pretty conservative bench, I know this was the outcome you were hoping for, but were you surprised by this decision?
No. I anticipated that 6 would support the position of the state.
Do you believe that murder for hire cases can warrant the death penalty?
I think if there are other extenuating circumstances, certainly. In this case, I'm not aware of any.
What do you hope happens with the case from here on out?
I hope that justice is served, truly. And that, you know, the focus of this office has been on affording Mr. Glossip a fair trial. And now that has been, that door is opened. And now we'll pivot to, as prosecutors, what should be done as a next logical step.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Hey,
Have a
let's
great
switch
day.
gears on you for a second. Ryan Walters wants an AG opinion. What do you think about that?
You know, I'm happy to give him one as soon as I study it and we spend some time on Mr. Walters' request.
Is it a showboating thing, or do you, or
Is there anything other than that with Mr. Walters?
Thank you all.